Hello children. Now we will be taking up the next topic in the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants, and the topic is the flower. Now we need to understand the flower, the arrangement of its whorls and everything pertaining to that, so that we can finally understand families of the plant. All the families into which the kingdom has been divided. So because the position that has been given to these plants to into various families is just because of these characteristics that the flower shows. So we must understand the basis of this. Now you must understand that flower has got four whorls. Whorls because it is arranged circular in a circular manner, so it is called whorl. So four whorls, basic whorls, which are arranged on the swollen end of stalk or pedicel. So one must notice that stalk is known as pedicel. The flower stalk is known as pedicel, as the leaf stalk was known as petiole, if you remember. Here the stalk of the flower is known as pedicel, and there is a swollen portion over the pedicel on which these whorls are arranged, and that swollen portion is known as thalamus or receptacle. Okay, so that is known as thalamus or receptacle. Now you have accessory whorls, that means the whorls that facilitate and protect the reproductive organs. They are known as accessory whorls. They are calyx and corolla. These are the plural terms, to which singular terms fall as sepals and petals. And you have necessary whorls, that means the ones that are required for reproduction. You know that flower is made for reproduction only. Flower is not produced by nature so that we can just pluck them up and put in the vase on our dining table. That is none of nature's business, isn't it? That is for the act of reproduction, so that progenies could increase. Species can survive. So necessary whorls will be androecium and gynoecium. Androecium singularly stamen and gynoecium singularly pistil. Female part, male part. Now flowers can be unisexual or bisexual. Unisexual means they either are male flowers or female flowers. Male flowers are known as staminate because they only contain stamen, and female flowers will be known as pistillate because they only contain pistil. So they are unisexual. Bisexual plants are the ones that bear flowers with both the sexes together. So a bisexual flower will be the flower that has got stamen and pistil both, and it is also known as hermaphrodite. You must be aware of these signs. This is for female, this is for male, and this is for both of them present together. That is hermaphrodite. A simple flower that is depicting receptacle, that is the swollen portion. This must be the pedicel or the stalk. These are the sepals, the petals. You can see the stamen and you can also see the pistil. So this is how we represent a simple flower. Now you have to understand the language of writing the formula, floral formula and diagram in a family. And for that you need to learn few symbols and few terminologies. Now like you have symmetry. Now excuse me for the M that I left. Now symmetry, you have actinomorphic and zygomorphic. Now what is symmetry? Symmetry means the flower can be cut into two equal parts on its radii. If the flower is possibly cut into two equal halves from any of the radii, then it will be actinomorphic. That is why symbol is being given like this, and the example stands to be mustard here. Mustard, okay? Then you have zygomorphic. Zygomorphic flowers are the ones which can only be cut into two equal halves through only one particular radius. Here, more than one radius. Like this also you cut, you will get two equal halves. Like this you also will be getting two equal halves. But here, only by one particular radius you will get two equal halves. So this is zygomorphic. The sign is like this and this one is written like this. Another term is used for asymmetric flowers. For example, canna where you cannot obtain two equal parts no matter what radius you take up for cutting. So they are asymmetric, no symmetry at all. Then flowers are often known as trimerous, tetramerous, pentamerous because the whorls or the appendages in the whorls, appendages means the parts, how many sepals, how many petals, okay, there's a number. There are 5 petals, 6 petals, 7 petals, so on for sepals, for stamens, for pistil. So number would be 3 or multiple of 3. It will be a trimerous flower. For this you have to go to lily. Okay, lily flower is trimerous, and lily was blooming. So you can, if you find a flower, you can really see it. Then you have tetramerous flower, like again you have mustard. Now here also you have either 4 appendages or 4 parts or multiple of 4. Then you have pentamerous flower, which has got 5 appendages, like 5 petals, 5 sepals, like this. There is a leaf-like structure that is present at the base of the flower. So if it is present, the flower is known as bracteate. Bracts are colored leaves, or modified leaves are known as bracts. So here when you have a small leaf present at the base of the flower, that is known as bracteate, and the sign is this. When it is not present, it is known as ebracteate, and the sign is this, or the way you write is this. Okay. So when you see a typical flower, you see that there are many technical terms that are involved in naming various parts and various structures.